Hello, and welcome to It's Not That Bad, optimistic movie reviews for optimistic people. That's Simone LaRue.
And that's Chad Ekowitz.
And we're back.
We're
back. No hiatus. I felt like that was a hiatus thing to say, but...
I think it felt like a hiatus because it was so bizarre going into 50 Shades, and I feel like we've resurfaced again.
Yeah, we're back to the usual two-movie sort of format that you guys know and love. Although, I don't know about you, but I certainly enjoy doing the sort of weird, out-there ones that we do every now and again.
It was fun. Maybe we should move into just reviewing straight-up porn.
I mean, we could do a porn month.
I don't think that's a good idea, actually. I really don't want to do that.
I'm kind of behind this now.
I'm the most.
We could do
no
the Scooby-Doo porn. We could do the Family Guy porn.
Oh,
Be
the
hilarious.
SpongeBob one.
Oh, is there a SpongeBob one? Why?
Uh-huh.
Oh, that makes me sad.
Oh, and I read a review of the Rugrats one.
Oh, no.
And apparently in that one, they're like very specifically like, we're not babies. That would be weird.
See, at least they've got like a moral standing.
Yeah, you have to cover your legal
That's
bases.
Nice. That's really nice. So if you've never listened to this podcast before, this is a podcast where Simone and I take two movies every week, usually not porn-based, and we tell you, you know what, it's not that bad, and they're not that bad, and, not every movie is going to be critically acclaimed, but also there's no truly bad movies, except maybe Lucy. And Tree of Life.
And Vampire's Kiss.
Wait, which one's Vampire's Kiss?
That's
that's
one.
the Nick Cage one. Yeah, that is, wow.
That was pretty
that
bad.
is a low point. Yeah. So this week is no different. And Simone, what are you reviewing this week?
I am reviewing the timeless classic that we all know and love, which is Pride and Prejudice and Zombies.
It's just the addition of zombies that make it so much better.
If you don't like love triangles or whatever, or period romance, that's fine. Enjoy some zombies.
Exactly. It's a film for the whole family.
Truly. It really is, I think it's PG-13, so we're all good.
Amazing. There you go. And I've gone a complete 180 from Simone, and I've decided to do £7, the Will Smith attempt at an Oscar, I would say.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Yeah. So let's get started. Let's see who goes first. What are you drinking, Simone?
I am drinking a vacation classic, because I just came back from a weekend away by the seaside.
Oh.
So it's gotta be some Old Brown Sherry.
Oh, no, you're not.
I sure am.
Oh, good lord.
It tastes like syrup.
Oh. That is fun. Are you doing absolutely nothing after this recording?
I'll have to. The thing with Obies is there's so much sugar in it that you kind of need to go for a lazy walk after it. Or you need to be absolutely freezing your tits off. But
exactly.
I'm just gonna be sitting, so that's fun.
Wow. That's good. It's your calorie intake for the day.
Clearly. And I had a pie for lunch, so I'm not doing well.
You know what? You've just come off vacation. You're allowed to...
Yeah. That was the thing. There was nothing else in the fridge. There was a pie in the freezer, so what am I supposed to do?
Exactly. You're still in R&R mode, and you just gotta do you, boo.
Thanks.
I, on the other side of things, am drinking a fine cold glass of Tennessee whiskey, but I'm drinking the honey one.
Oh, that's yummy.
It's so good.
It's...
It's so tasty. I love everything about the South except for, the blatant racism and bigotry.
Yeah.
But the accent is just flawless.
Accent's great, food's great, alcohol, great.
Amazing. I mean, who would put fried chicken with waffles? Only the South, and thank God they did. I could think of nothing worse than not having chicken with waffles. I was gonna say, God bless
the South for that, but, I'll take a step back.
Yeah. Look, we're happy for some things, and then we're sad for others. But I'm very happy with what I'm drinking. So how much percentage yours? Because I can imagine they're going to be quite close.
So mine is 17%.
They are not close at all.
Oh, how much is yours?
35%.
Yeah, that tracks, though.
Yeah.
Mine's like a half wine, half liquor, all sugar.
All sugar, yeah. It's just non-fermented sugar, that's all that's in brown cherry. Okay, well then, I guess I get to go first with
Ooh, Tree of Life.
With Tree of Life Part 2.
Oh, no, sorry, not Tree of Life. I think I got the same vibes from it.
It's fair enough, the director feels very similar. But I do like sort of your... I don't know, I'm looking for the word, sameness. I'm gonna go with sameness, because I can't find anything else. Comparison, homology, I don't know, I was going for something congruent, similarity.
Comparison.
Welcome to the Thesaurus podcast, where you write in with a word, and we spend an hour telling you other words which sound and mean the same thing.
Or mean the wrong thing entirely, because our vocabularies aren't always there.
How good would that be, though, as a podcast where we just drink for an hour, and just as we get further on, the words just get worse?
You know what? Just say it in French. It's prettier.
It's so pretty. Right, so, 7 pounds. Let's get into the synopsis, yo. It's a short one this week because, I mean, the plot of this is really all over the place.
But also very straightforward.
And very, very straightforward. So I try to follow the sort of twist and the surprise of the film, but it was very hard to. So This is my best shot at the plot for this.
Hey,
so here we go.
I believe in you.
Thank you. Ben, played by Will Smith, is just your ordinary guy, or so we think. Posing as a tax auditor for the IRS, Ben travels around LA finding people who are inherently good who have fallen on hard times. Each and every one of these people also have some form of disease affecting one of their organs. The film essentially starts with Ben calling up a meat company to complain about the meat that he received. He is connected to Ezra, played by Woody Harrelson, who is blind. Ben tries to provoke Ezra into anger by calling him a vegetarian blind virgin, but fails, and Ezra simply wishes him a good day and hangs up.
That was so sad.
It was heartbreaking, wasn't it?
Genuinely a good performance.
Yeah, I feel for Woody. Woody Harrelson is a fucking good actor, actually. Yeah. So, then, later, Ben meets Emily, played by Rosario Dawson, who has congenital heart failure. As the film states, she is not in a bad enough condition to be hospitalized and put onto the heart donor list, but bad enough that if her heart starts to fail, it would fail too fast for the doctors to actually save her. To make things worse, she has an extremely rare blood type, so it's unlikely that they would find her a heart anyway. Throughout the film, it is hinted at that Ben and his best friend Dan, played by Barry Pepper, have an agreement. This agreement seems to make Dan really, really sad every time they talk about it. Ben follows Emily around, they start to become friends, and they eventually fall in love. This is all very sweet, but Emily's heart is getting weaker and weaker by the day. Eventually, we find out that Ben isn't Ben at all. Ben's real name is actually Tim. Now, Tim used to be a spaceship engineer until one fateful night where he caused a car accident, killing 7 people, including his wife. From that day, Tim had sworn to help other people who are truly good, even when no one is looking. About 6 months after the accident, Tim's brother, who is actually called Ben, played by Michael Ealy, was diagnosed with lung cancer. Tim gave him his lung. From there, Tim started giving away his organs and vital fluids. He gave his bone marrow to a child with bone marrow cancer, and he gave his kidney to a hockey coach. And now, he is cruising around LA pretending to be an IRS agent in order to find out who is good enough to get all of his other organs. He now has a choice, because he's fallen in love with Emily, of either giving up his plans and staying with Emily, or giving her his heart so she can survive. He chooses the latter. He commits suicide by box jellyfish, so that none of his organs would be harmed in the process, and donates all of his organs to very specific people. The 2 most important for the film's point of view are Emily, who gets his heart, and Ezra, who gets his eyes. In the final scene, Emily and Ezra meet and exchange a really heartfelt moment. The end.
I don't know if you researched this or not, but I just want to know how realistic the box jellyfish thing is. Because first of all, it's a really venomous animal.
Yeah.
So, how easy is it to just, get a hold of one and keep it in your hotel room?
That's what I was thinking as well, because, I mean, I'm sure, there's not sort of a whole bunch of exotic, dangerous animals riding around everywhere,
Yeah.
You have to have special permits and things like that, and I would think, even for a box jellyfish,
Definitely, especially for a box jellyfish.
Yeah, I mean, plus they're indigenous to Australia, so you've got to keep the temperatures and the climate right. So moving into a motel just seems a bit insane.
And then are we convinced that his organs wouldn't have failed along with, like, whatever else happened to him?
Well, the thing is, right, he puts himself in an ice bath and does it, which, first of all, is animal cruelty, because that poor box jellyfish now has to freeze.
Yeah.
But apart from that, like, he does put himself in an ice bath, and I assume that keeps his organs fine. But I don't know enough about the science behind, sort of, organ safety.
Yeah, and I just wonder if the effect the venom would have on like your organs.
Yeah, because I think it's just it causes heart failure. So it wouldn't necessarily damage the organs, but I mean, you know, I mean, he seems to have done his research when he's killing himself.
Sure.
You know, why not? Can I tell you the origins of the box jellyfish? It is the most bonkers story, and it makes me so happy.
Please tell me.
So, the gentleman who discovered the box jellyfish wanted to test its poison. So what he did was he captured a box jellyfish, he poisoned his son, and then poisoned the lifeguard on duty that day at the beach, and then he poisoned himself, and all three of them then died.
Wait, so did the lifeguard consent to it?
I think he did consent to it, but you know how Australians are, they're fucking nuts. Oh, you want to be stung by this jellyfish? Oh, go on then, lad.
Oh, alright.
Yeah, let's go. And then...
And then he just offered the dude like $5 and...
Yeah, and it's the most dangerous animal on the planet, pretty much, in terms of its toxicity, so... You know, crazy times. I thought the story was sweet, though. Like, I enjoyed the story. I think it's a really nice message.
I don't know. Like, on one hand, I completely get it. Like, it's the 7 pounds of flesh that, like, he feels he owes, like, the world.
Oh, okay. Now I get the title. Cool.
I assumed that was it. I could be entirely wrong. But, like, it's that... But also, I don't know, it's kind of shitty to, like, commit suicide and leave people who love you. And then, like, they're getting your organs, so there's, like, all this guilt around that. And, like, I don't know, like, it's weird. Like, don't bring people, like, that you love into your own shit.
Yeah, he should have probably, like, it would have been better if he had just gone to, like, therapy and then donated, you know, money to
be a blood donor. It's very important.
Oh, I'm sure he donated blood. I'm you know, he fucking donated.
Do you think he donated semen?
How great would that be?
Yeah, I suppose it would have ruined the somber tone of the movie.
Yeah,
if they'd shown him doing that.
That would have been great. I would have appreciated that. I mean, to donate bone marrow alone, like, that is what I've heard to be the most painful sort of operation.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
So I mean. Are you an organ donor?
I am an organ donor. Hey,
Good.
Everybody, sign up to be an organ donor. It's really easy, and you'll save a life with organs that you're not using anymore.
Exactly, guys. Like, I mean, look, we respect your religious views. If you don't want to donate for religious reasons and, you know, whatever, like, that's fine. But if you are free and keen to donate, do it, because, I mean, it is really important. You're not going to be using them anyway. Don't be selfish and, bury them with you.
And it just makes it easier on your family when they have to make hard decisions, God forbid, later on.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, plus you also get to live on through someone else, and you get to control their body when they're asleep.
That's how organ donation works.
Yeah, it's a little bit of you that stays inside someone, and then when they're asleep, you can take over. That's what I've heard.
Yeah. But I don't know, I just feel like he could have, like, maybe become a social, like, worked with social workers, or, like, there are so many ways that you can help people, and, like, continue to help people.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, making all the people you love, like, complicit in your suicide, basically.
Yeah.
Just feels, especially his friend.
Oh,
like,
man. Poor Dan. That was really fucked up.
Also, like, in some way, then, isn't it, like, negligence or like some sort of culpability legally if like his friend calls him, says, hey, I'm gonna commit suicide, I need you to handle my organs, and he's like, cool, I planned for this. Like, that can't be legal.
I'm thinking about it, and it's definitely not legal. I mean, they signed a contract, so, you know, he's fully aware of what's gonna happen, and he really does very little to stop it.
I think people forget that contracts are not always binding.
No, well, I mean, to be fair, that contract would probably be binding, not in a court of law, but between them, and it's not legally enforceable, but when it comes to life, like, it's very unlikely, you know, that you could probably bring that to court at all. You know, so, you know, but you can contract for a lot of things, guys. You know, the donation of organs is a contract.
Yeah.
But it would be really shitty if I was like, hey, Simone, I'm pretty upset about stuff. Do you mind making sure that all of my organs go to these people? Is that okay? Are you okay with this?
Absolutely not.
And I
if
would
I
not
say
blame
no,
you.
will you not kill yourself? Like, shit.
That's the thing, right? Like, how did he agree to this? I would not have agreed to this.
I don't know. I just feel like, you know, he keeps, like, doing this stuff because he feels so guilty and things, but it's like, at the end of the day, you're actually being a really bad person because you're, like, fucking up all the people around you.
Yeah, I mean, Dan's gonna have to live with that for the rest of his life, that, like, he was kind of complicit in your death.
I don't know. But also, my other issues with this movie, as it, like, maybe I'm wrong, but it felt like it was trying really hard.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there are a couple of moments there where it's, like, this intense artistic close-up of the face, and it just, like, you're like, I get it. Like, it's an interesting shot. I don't know. It didn't feel genuine, if that makes sense.
I get what you're saying. I mean, it's like you said to me, you know, it definitely feels like he was trying to go for the Oscar. But I feel, you know, in terms of Oscar-worthy, this is definitely not as good as Pursuit of Happiness.
Oh, yeah, no.
You know, it's still a really heartfelt story, and I think the duality between, you know, the love he has for Emily and giving his heart for her is quite lovely. Yeah. But, you know, I mean, dude, just become an advocate for don't text and drive. Like, just lobby.
There's so many. And friends, if you're considering suicide as your best option, just reach out to someone, talk to a therapist. There's help out there. Suicide's not the only option.
Yeah, for reals, guys. It's not a good option, and you know, we've said this before because somehow we've always been covering suicide. But, you know...
that's because, like, the first, like, this is such, like, sadness porn, you know?
Yeah.
And that's always, like, the first thing. They're like, oh, they killed themselves, but it was, like, beautiful somehow. It was
a sacrifice. He's a martyr and a saint. Yeah, but seriously, if you are thinking of suicide, just remember there are people that can help you. And, you know, Simone and I aren't counselors at all or helpful at all. But you know what?
Absolutely
we both
not.
love you.
Yeah.
And we'll always be here for you if you just need a high five or whatever. I mean, we've both got a lot of jokes. So, you know, we can make you smile, and just don't do it, guys. Please.
Just stick around.
You're better here than you are not here.
Donate blood. Donate eggs.
So yeah. Donate blood, donate a kidney, donate half your liver if you must. Donate bone marrow if you're really fucking crazy.
Yeah, you know, if you want to get your kicks.
Yeah, if you're into that pain thing.
Don't pay a piercer for stuff.
No. I must say, though, everyone acted this superbly.
Very well.
I really enjoyed, what's her name? Emily Rosario.
Rosario Dawson. Oh, she's amazing.
She was fucking an angel.
I think she's still such an underrated actress.
Oh, definitely. She gets a lot of character parts.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I thought it was good. I enjoyed it. I think his relationship with Dan was super sad and just lovely. Dan is the best of all of them.
Oh, his brother with the beautiful one blue eye. I was like, oh my god, what's his story?
Oh, he's gorgeous. He's been in another movie we've done,
what else was
also
he
as a
in?
back character. I can't remember what he was in, but we've covered him before.
Did we have a crush on him then too?
Of course we did.
Probably.
Of course we did. You know, so I'm really impressed by that. I think the story did miss out a lot trying to be clever and cool.
I mean, because it's an hour in and you're still like, wait, what the shit is happening right now?
Yeah, 100%. And then it eventually gets revealed in a letter, which is super lazy.
Ugh, yeah. And, you know, I'm all about movies that have, like, disrupted timelines. Memento, great movie. I'm about it.
Yeah.
But with Memento, there's a distinct reason for the unreliable and, like, segmented timeline.
Yeah,
exactly. 7 Pounds doesn't have a good reason.
No, exactly. And also, my biggest issue kind of with this film was he killed 7 people. He should be in jail. Why is he not doing any jail time?
Would he? I mean, it was an accident, right?
It's still culpable homicide. Like,
really?
he still
But
negligently murdered people. No, but he still murdered people. Like, you know, it would be like second or third degree. He would only get like 5 years.
He drove, it was an oncoming car, so could that oncoming car have been in the wrong lane, potentially?
Maybe,
and he didn't notice in time? Because it was around a blind corner, too.
That's true. Maybe he just had a fucking good lawyer.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a movie. I would like to see that movie. I'd watch that. So what was your favorite bit of this film?
My favorite bit? Everything with Woody Harrelson.
Yeah.
He's just like, I don't know. I love him. He can do comedy, he can do drama, like he can do tough characters, and then he did Dear Sweet Ezra, who I immediately want to cook dinner for.
Right? Like, that waitress deserves, he deserves her and so much better, you know? He's
offering her kid free lessons.
He's just so nice.
Cute.
He's the best. Him. And he didn't get mad when Will Smith was like really just fucking him around.
Horrible.
Yeah, it was so mean. As an opening scene, it was so mean.
Oh my god. I don't think, like, I know Will Smith was just like doing it to test the guy, but I genuinely don't think I could be that mean to someone.
No. I mean, that's really harsh. And poor Ezra.
And also, like, I can't even stand up for myself on a daily basis. Like, I don't know.
And to be mean to a blind guy, like, harsh.
Yeah,
harsh,
shit.
dude. Harsh.
Oh, man. That was a good scene. That was a really good scene.
Yeah. I think for me, my favorite bit was probably the ending as well. Another Ezra scene where he's sort of... got the blind choir and they're singing and then they meet each other afterwards and Emily's just like, oh, are you Ezra? And then he clicks and he's like, oh, you must be Emily. So cute. And she's looking into his eyes, which are also Ezra's eyes now.
I kind of want them to fall in love.
How good would that be?
I just want that so much. Like, he's all nice, and he teaches piano, and she makes greeting cards, and, like, all the posters for his recitals, and it's, like, it's really cute.
That would be so cute. That's the sequel, yeah. £8.
And it's just about a giant baby.
That would be so good. This giant, beautiful baby with Woody Harrelson and Rosario Dawson features.
I feel like they would have this baby with like the strongest features, though.
Oh, definitely.
Damn, it would either be really attractive or really
hideous. Yeah. It only goes those two ways, really. With such an attractive couple, it can only go those two ways. Well, I'm excited for the sequel that we're definitely going to write.
Thanks, yeah. I think that's also my scene that could have saved it. I just kind of want them to fall in love. Like, I know it would have been, like, too neat a plot point, and it would have, like, played off as really badly, but, like, my heart wants what it wants.
It's true, and to be fair, this film is a little bit of a cliche, so I don't see why...
In any case.
Why not? Yeah.
What's your scene that could have saved it?
I think there wasn't enough emphasis on Will Smith's character's turmoil between staying alive and being with Emily and him wanting to help Emily. Like, it was a very short scene where he was just like, he phoned up the hospital and he's just like, you know, is there any other chance that she'd get a heart? Like, it would have been really good if he's like, he tells her what he's planning on doing and like he's going through this turmoil and he's just like, I don't know what I want to do and, you know, this isn't your problem. I'm not trying to make it your problem, but, you know, this is what I'm going through.
It also would have been cool if he'd like left her a little note or something, you know? Like, he just fucks off and she doesn't realize what's happened until like after she's got his heart pumping in her chest.
Yeah. How weird would you feel? Like, that's gonna have some really psychological back...
Yeah, that's my thing, though. Like, he must have really fucked up the people around him.
Yeah, for reals. Like, Ezra, he's just sitting, he's doing his job, he's getting berated, and then the next day, he's got eyes. What?
Yeah.
What?
Cool, I guess.
Yeah. And her, oh, we just slept together, we told each other we're in love, and I wake up, and I've got his heart now.
At least he also fixed her card machine. That's really nice. But, like, what would have been a nice touch is if he'd, like, set it up so that it printed, like, a little, like, note or something for her. Like, that would have been cute.
Yeah, just like, I will always love you, or something like that.
Yeah,
or,
exactly.
I wish you didn't have congenital heart failure.
Get well soon.
Yeah, that's the business. That's the business she goes into after this, is just get well soon cards.
Sorry about your heart, sad face.
Yikes.
That's fun card because it applies to heart disease and breakups.
There you go, double up. In this economy, it's what you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. I like your entrepreneurial spirit.
Thanks.
Yeah. So, shall I move on to bad film or...
Yeah, tell me about this director.
Alright, so we've got Gabriel Muccino.
Oh.
So, I feel like he's a good director. I'll tell you what he's done once I've got the IMDb page open. And as always, a huge shout out to IMDb for not sponsoring us, but making sure that we know what we're kind of talking about. Because without them, we would be fucked.
Thanks, IMDb.
And if you do want to sponsor us, I mean, holla.
Yeah.
For reals.
We're here for you.
So, he's done a bunch of stuff that you probably never heard of, but he did direct The Pursuit of Happiness.
Okay.
So I think him and Will Smith have a thing. And then another movie that I've seen, and I don't know if you've seen it, but The Last Kiss, Zach Braff.
I've heard of it.
It's very good. It's very Zach Braff.
Okay.
And I've always been a fanboy of Zach Braff. Less so nowadays, but still.
We all grew up on Scrubs, like...
How could you not love a bit of Braff?
Love it.
But yeah, he's done a shit ton of movies. Vasco e Viola, There's No Place Like Home, Summertime, Fathers and Daughters, Playing for Keeps, Senza Tempo, Kiss Me Again, 7 Pounds, Hartango, Viva Laughin', Nera, The Pursuit of Happiness, Ci siete venuti a cacare, Giovanni Talatini Italiani, Remember Me, My Love, The Last Kiss, But Forever in My Mind, and then 3 other Italian ones that I can't pronounce.
Okay.
So, but I don't think this film was directed badly. I think all of them did superb performances, and it was beautiful.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed it. I can kind of see where the bad reviews came in, but overall, like, it was a very interesting movie that just, it's hard to stick with, that's it.
Yeah, I think the plot it would have been cooler if it was told sort of linearly. That way, we could understand why he's doing this and really, really focused on the love story instead of focusing on why he's doing this.
Yeah, instead of wondering what the fuck you're seeing.
Yeah, exactly. And so there you go, 7 pounds, my friend.
Nice.
I'm glad we covered it, and I think it is definitely one of those films. Like we said, the critics hated it, but people loved it. It's kind of why we do this podcast. It's to show that critics aren't always right, you guys.
Yeah.
We're always right. just us two.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me about Pride and Prejudice and zombies.
Okay, so I did not write a synopsis today, so I'm going to use a lot of IMDb's synopsis and add in my own stuff.
Fair enough.
Okay, so Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, based on the famous novel. And another famous novel.
And another famous novel.
Yes. Combines the classic Jane Austen novel, Pride and Prejudice, but adds in zombies. So, our story takes place in the 1800s, but it is an alternate universe England where zombie hordes have taken over, and everybody lives within London or just outside of London.
Ho-ho.
Very small population, but apparently there are still lots of rich people, don't you worry.
London town.
So, there are basically 2 plot lines. It is the classic love story, and then the more zombie-esque story. The classic love story follows Elizabeth Bennet, played by Lily James, and her older sister Jane Bennet, played by Bella Heathcote. They, unlike the Austen novel, they have also been trained to fight zombies like fucking badasses along with the rest of their sisters. They go to a ball that is being held by Mr. Bingley, played by Douglas Booth.
Mr. Bingley.
Mr. Bingley. Played by Douglas Booth, who is the hottest new bachelor in town. On arriving, Mr. Bingley immediately falls in love with Jane Bennet, and Elizabeth meets Mr. Darcy, the very dour, very rude...
rambunctious.
Yeah, but he's also a colonel in the army against the zombies. They go back and forth. Elizabeth decides she hates him, even though it's very clear she has a crush on him. So, things suddenly go strange because Mr. Darcy and Mr. Bingley decide that they're going to return back to London and basically imply that Mr. Bingley isn't interested in Jane anymore, which is really confusing to everybody.
Yeah.
Events follow. Elizabeth meets up with her good old friend George Wickham, who is a handsome captain in the army, and he tells her that no, he knew Mr. Darcy growing up, but ultimately Mr. Darcy really screwed him out of an inheritance of Mr. Darcy's father, and he doesn't talk to him anymore because he's an awful person. Elizabeth believes this, and moreover, George also tells her that Mr. Darcy is the reason that Mr. Bingley left Jane, because he said that Jane was just a gold digger.
Yeah.
They have a big fallout, they fight. She says, I would never want to marry you, even though he proposes to her, because he's loved her all along.
Which is crazy.
That's just how things worked then. It was all about the simmering tension underneath.
I mean, it's hot. Let's not get us wrong. But,
maybe don't skip straight to marriage. He was super rich, so...
Oh, man.
Okay. Later, though, Darcy sends her a letter saying that no, she was mistaken. George Wickham is actually a scoundrel. And he squandered his inheritance and kept asking for more money until Darcy cut him off. Then he tried to seduce Georgina, Darcy's sister, to get her inheritance, and luckily Darcy rectified the situation. He also said that he'd misunderstood Jane's intentions because their mom is like always obsessed with talking about money, Mrs. Bennet, played by Sally Phillips. And he just assumed that she was gold digging and she wasn't interested in Mr. Bingley, and that he would rectify the situation at once because he didn't understand. Here comes the zombie plot, because Mr. Darcy wrote her that letter from the final stages of the zombie siege of London. What happened there?
Oh man, here we go.
Throughout the movie, we watch the sisters, and basically every other rich person, fight zombies. If you're very rich, you train in Japan to fight zombies. If you're a little bit lower class, you train in China like a pleb to fight the zombies. It's not really important.
China.
Throughout the movie, it becomes clear that the zombies clearly have someone helping them out with getting into these private residences and taking over. Later on, George Wickham, while he's attempting to, I guess, seduce Elizabeth or bring him over to his side, takes her to the Church of St. Lazarus. There, not fully transformed zombies congregate and eat pig's brains in an attempt to still stay cognizant,
like
sentient, kind of human. Yeah.
Yeah.
He says that these zombies actually deserve to be dealt with and negotiated with for a safer England, because they're sentient and they could actually move against England, so it's in their best interests to negotiate with them and forge some sort of agreement. Obviously, this is shot down, not only by Mr. Darcy, but also by the incredible Lady Catherine de Bourgh, played by Lena Headey, who is in charge of the whole force against the zombies, because she's the best fighter in all of Britain. Elizabeth realizes she wants nothing to do with George Wickham, and she also wants nothing to do with his zombies, but suddenly gets pulled back into it because he seduces and kidnaps her youngest sister, Lydia. So, she has to go into zombie-occupied territory in the middle of the Battle of London in order to be able to rescue her sister. Mr. Darcy comes along to help. They rescue her sister, they defeat George Wickham, they explode the whole cathedral full of zombies, they escape back behind the walls of London, they get married, Jane and Mr. Bingley get married, and it's happily ever after.
Well done. What a fucking hard-ass plot to do. That was really difficult. Because, I mean, look, the plot of Pride and Prejudice is tough alone. There's a lot that happens in that book. And then now to add zombies?
I mean,
you're crazy.
It's a lot. But I feel like, they really tried with the world building for it. Like, I appreciate that.
Yeah, definitely. I think you mentioned the word scoundrel.
Yes.
And I wish we used that word more. Like, there are certain things that I wish we still had. I wish scoundrel was still used a lot. I wish that people said unhand me more.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's just fantastically dramatic. Just unhand me.
Unhand me.
Perfect. I wish people rued the day more. And I'm very, very glad that cuck is coming back.
I'm not.
I think it's great. Just calling someone a cuck. It's great. You cuck. That's fantastic.
I think now it's a bit more of a politically loaded word, weirdly. So, now we can't use it like that anymore.
I know. It's that I still try to use it in the traditional sense when I call someone a cuck.
Just careful your audience, I guess.
In my day-to-day life. And capes. That's the last thing I'll say on that issue. Is capes need to come back in a big fashion.
I mean, this movie just made me realize that, we don't have enough period zombie movies.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed the scene where the sisters are, like, getting ready for the ball, but, like, they're also putting, like, knives in their garters and stuff.
God
like,
damn.
That's
yeah.
fun!
It was fun, it was a little bit sexy.
Yeah!
Like, yeah, I can get behind that. I think what was really cool as well is sort of the whole thing with Elizabeth is that she's very sort of, women's rights and, don't get married just for getting married, get married for love. And Darcy felt the same way in just normal Pride and Prejudice. But then they adapted it to Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, so he's like, oh, a woman should be able to fight and she should still remain able to fight. And I thought that was really nice.
Yeah.
The ability
really like
to, like, change that. Yeah.
And, like, he wasn't interested in her, and then he saw her fight, and he was like, God damn.
That woman throws down.
I love that.
You would do well in Pride and Prejudice and Zombieland.
Me?
Yeah. You're a good fighter.
I like to think so. I can't take Rudy with to Krav anymore because he just smiles the whole time we fight. Like, he's so proud of me. So, like, I take him,
nice.
I throw him or whatever, and he's just smiling like a baby. And I'm like, you can't do that. I keep thinking I'm doing it wrong. He's like, no, you're doing it perfectly.
Aww.
Yeah.
That's the love you want, though. That's kind of the dream.
Yeah, and I'm just like, you condescending dick.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Everyone in this movie is perfect.
Yeah.
I can't fault a single person.
The casting was great.
I think Darcy could have been a little sexier. That's my one controversial point.
I feel like that actor was, like, doing a bit of a parody, though.
Uh-huh.
Like, I feel like he was parodying Colin Firth, like, a little bit from the original Pride and Prejudice, because, like, he's clearly a good actor, but he does, like, the stiff-lipped thing very well.
Yeah.
And, like, just being so profoundly unlikable.
Yeah. Because he was definitely unlikable. Like,
yeah.
There's no question I did not like him. So he played the role super well. That scene where they fight in Mr. Collins's house.
Oh, yeah.
That was ace. What a great scene.
That was fun.
It was so good. And, like, they're popping off each other's buttons, so there's, like, a little bit of sexual
it's a bit
undertones.
Sexy.
Oh, it was great. No, this movie did well.
You know, it was exactly what it said it was. I think they had good enough actors that were, like, serious about the roles, but also, like, knew what they were fucking doing. Mm-hmm. You know, like, it's Pride and Prejudice and zombies.
Yeah. But that's what's funny as well about it, is they've got such big names in there.
Yeah.
You've got the dads. Lena Headey.
Playing this ridiculous character who I loved so much.
What did you think about the costumes? Because I thought they were really fucking cool.
Loved it.
Like, practical for zombie fighting.
Are dresses ever really practical? Although, in all fairness, there are scenes at the end where they're wearing pants, like, great.
Yeah.
I thought the actress that played the mom was, like, genuinely really funny and perfect.
Yeah, she was awesome. Like, they all did so well. I mean, Jane's bone structure is something to admire.
Oh my god, she's so beautiful. I actually had to look up the actress, because I was like, oh my god, where is she? She was in 50 Shades of Grey.
No friggin' way.
She was the creepy girl that, like, is one of... Yeah.
What? That's amazing.
I know.
Change. Because they look totally different. Oh, that's nice. You see,
I mean, she was a brunette, so I guess maybe, like...
And she was also a lot paler and sort of,
creepy.
Suicide-y,
Yeah.
Yeah. Zombies in this film were very, very cool. I don't know how you feel, but I prefer a slow zombie to a fast zombie.
I like a slow zombie. I feel like it's only fair.
Yeah, I think the fast zombie trope just really kind of fucks with everything. I'm not saying Zombieland is a bad film, but, like, anatomically speaking, it's more accurate.
Yeah.
And also, it leads into its own sort of dangers because you don't expect too much of them and then they fuck you up.
Yeah.
Which is really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that was pleasant. I do think it's kind of like, they're like, oh, this guy's evil because he thinks we should negotiate with zombies. But it's like, but they're clearly sentient, like, they're just sick people then. Like, they're just mildly, like, mentally ill people, and their illness can be managed. Like, you actually should be looking into that, because then
Yeah.
people don't have to lose their loved ones.
100%. Like, they could speak English, they were doing fine, they had religious beliefs, clearly, and it made no sense to be like, yeah, we should kill them all. And then, like, that whole scene where they were like, oh, we're gonna feed them brains, and then we'll see what they're really like. Like, fuck you. I mean, just in comparison, I'm not saying it's a perfect comparison, but if you gave, like, a heroin addict who's been clean for 10 years, just, like...
Yeah.
availability of heroin, like, they're not really likely to turn it down. It doesn't speak to them as their character.
Yeah, it's not what they're really like. Like, you're just making it worse.
Exactly.
It's like if you gave a psychiatric patient rabies, and you were like, now we'll see what they're really like.
Yeah, it's a very flawed argument from the rest of the UK.
So that was my only issue, like, world building wise, was like, no, he's right, we really should be trying to work with these zombies.
Exactly. He was a scoundrel, as you say, though, but that's more from the Pride and Prejudice side of things. The zombie side of things, he was 100% right.
Yeah.
But, hey-ho, zombies need to die, apparently.
Whatever.
And there you have it.
I guess for the purposes of the plot, yeah.
So, what was your scene that could have saved it, then?
I mean... I think I want more with Lena Headey. Like, she was actually a very small part of this, and you don't really get to see her fight, even though she's supposedly, like, the best fighter in all of Britain. And I would have liked that. I would have just liked to see, I feel like she can do action scenes, as we know. So, like, just let her fuck shit up a bit. And then also, the rating for this was PG-13, so it wasn't, like, super gory, but, like, it's a zombie movie. Like, make it a little... gross.
Yeah, agreed. It would have added to it, and I agree with you with the Lena Headey thing, because there was that scene where her and Elizabeth were about to fight, and then Elizabeth is now like, oh no, because fighting you would be like fighting England, or some other rubbish. And I'm like, no, you guys are badasses, fuck you, shut her up.
Fight!
For me, though, however, I've got to go back to the original Pride and Prejudice for my scene that could have saved it.
Oh.
So... I don't know how versed you are.
So to be clear, you're correcting Jane Austen.
No. I'm advocating for more Jane Austen in Pride and Prejudice and Zombies.
Okay.
So I don't know how well versed you are in the original book, but there is a scene where Elizabeth heads down to Darcy's place, and that's when she flips. That's when she's like, "Oh damn, I should actually marry this dude." And I would have fucking loved that if, like, they had headed down to Darcy's place, she sees this fucking huge mansion, she goes inside, there's, like, daggers and knives and...
Yeah, you got, like, an armory.
Like, oh shit, actually, I love this dude. He's amazing. He has a dojo.
Yeah.
He has a gun range. And then she's like, actually, yeah, let's fucking do this. I think, especially with that little wink to the original book, would have been amazing.
Yeah, that would have been fun. I appreciate that.
But overall, great film. Very happy. Tell me who this director be, and whether he's a good director or it's a bad film.
Okay. So, our director, his name is Burr Steers. You would have seen his directorial work in The Death and Life of Charlie St. Cloud.
Oh, great film.
17 Again. He hasn't directed a whole bunch.
Right.
Like, those are the two ones you definitely know. He directed one episode of The L Word, one episode of Weeds, and most recently a new episode, or one episode of The New Normal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he hasn't directed a whole bunch. I don't think he was a bad director. When I read reviews, some people did say that, like, the actual fight scenes weren't filmed as compellingly as they could have been.
Okay.
Which I kind of agree with. Like, I feel like there were all these really cool zombie fight scenes, but, like, they weren't as intense or, like, visually interesting as they could have been.
Okay, I get you.
So I don't want to say he's a bad director. I just want to say maybe, like, he clearly isn't a super experienced director.
Right, so you're saying if we saw more stuff from him, maybe...
Yeah, like, he just needs to learn. I mean, it's very different from any other movie he's ever done.
Yeah.
So that was clearly his learning curve. But otherwise, I really enjoyed this movie. It was super fun.
Yeah.
It was never going to win an Oscar, but it was great.
Yeah, and I think it did exactly what the book does, which was just make Pride and Prejudice super fun.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how you feel about it, but I fucking hate Pride and Prejudice.
I have to like it because I'm a white girl.
Right, fair enough. Yeah, Eat, Pray, Love.
And I'm at that age. Like, it's just encoded in my DNA. I have to love Jane Austen.
Yeah.
On that note,
fair enough.
One time I was at a wine tasting. It was when I was still in UCT's wine society. And this guy was like, I was with Sarah, and this guy was like trying to hit on us, or hit on her, I guess. So he was like, we were tasting, I think, a Chardonnay, and Sarah's like, oh yeah, I love Chardonnay. And he's like, oh, I bet you like Jane Austen. Girls who like Chardonnay like Jane Austen. And I was like, everybody likes Jane Austen, you fucking dick. Like,
wow.
I didn't say that out loud. I was just like...
What an asshole.
Yeah. And Sarah was like, yeah, I like Jane Austen.
I mean, what a connection to make.
Yeah, like, it was just so bizarre. I don't understand what his plan was after that.
I think you guys should have just quizzed the shit out of him and be like, okay,
like...
so what author goes with a Sauvignon Blanc?
Yeah, what if I'm fond of Merlot?
That's a Kuntz fan right there. Dean Kuntz is your man.
Oh, I was gonna say Merlot's definitely more of an H.P. Lovecraft, kind of...
Oh man, I don't know. I would say sherry is more H.P. Lovecraft. You just no port. Port is definitely H.P. Lovecraft.
Good strong port.
Port with my Cthulhu.
Pinot Grigio is obviously Eat, Pray, Love.
Yes. Oh my god. Yes. That's so good. Rosé has to be J.K. Rowling.
Yeah.
I reckon.
Yeah.
Just a little bit zazzy, a little bit light.
Oh, so friends, tell us what your favorite wine is and your favorite novel. We'll collate all the results into a definitive guide.
Yeah, that'll be our next podcast.
Yeah.
Right, back to the podcast. So well done. That's that then.
Yeah.
Nicely done. So cool. Let's move on. Tell me, Simone, what do you like for next week?
You know what I'm gonna say, probably.
There's 3 that I think you might say.
Well, I'm gonna say Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Right?
The trailer looks really fun. I was not impressed by Quentin Tarantino's last movie, which was The Hateful Eight.
Yeah.
But I'm optimistic about this one. Brad Pitt is like a really good action comedy actor, which it looks like this movie is.
Yeah.
DiCaprio kills it in every Quentin Tarantino movie. So I'm just really excited.
Yeah, I've got to agree with you there. I mean, I don't know for sure, but this feels like the first time that Brad Pitt has worked with Quentin Tarantino. So it will be a really interesting take to see how the two work together.
Yeah.
I think the trailer looked amazing. So
yeah.
I'll definitely, I feel you there. There are some really good movies coming out recently.
Yes, I'm very excited.
It's gonna be a good month, I reckon, for film.
I hope so.
And I mean, obviously we've got Endgame coming out, so Jesus.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, I still need to go watch Captain Marvel before I go watch Endgame.
So
it's
good.
It's exhausting.
So good is Captain Marvel. Definitely check it out. Us has just come out, so I might go see that during the week.
Ooh, that's the thing. Like, I'm trying to toss up whether I want to watch Captain Marvel or I want to watch Us, because I'm not made of money, so I can't just, like, go to the cinema all the time.
Well, if I go during the week to go see Us, I'll let you know which you should spend your money on.
Okay.
Cause, like,
I'll also see maybe if Us is at the Labia.
Yeah, because the Labia does cheap. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to do I keep doing this now, but I want to do a notable mention.
Ooh.
Because I'm so fucking excited for this. I don't think you'll be surprised by what I'm gonna say, but you gotta go watch the trailer for it. Dora and the Lost City of Gold. Please tell me you saw the trailer.
I saw that was a thing that was happening.
Oh man, I'm so fucking ready for Dora the Explorer live action film. It's gonna be so good. Like, I can't even...
I mean, so my thing with it, like, I'm obviously excited. I think it'll be great. I mean, it just missed me generation-wise. Like, I think I was a couple years out from Dora the Explorer.
Yeah.
But College Humor, ages and ages ago, did a live-action Dora the Explorer with Ariel Winter, which was so funny.
Yeah, it was so good. I've seen that one, and that's what made me think of this film, and that's why I'm really excited for it. It's gonna be so beautiful, I think. And, like, looking at the actors and things, and looking...
Yeah,
It was just a really exciting trailer, and I think that's gonna be amazing. And I just had to mention it because, you know, I think it is gonna be such a breakaway film, you know, and I think it's gonna be amazing. Yeah. But the film that I do want to speak about, and I think that it's gonna do bad, and I feel... not bad, but sympathetic for Natalie Portman, because she's just choosing bad movies now.
Oh god.
Lucy in the Sky is what this movie's called.
Oh, I haven't seen the trailer. I remember seeing that something called that is coming out, though.
So basically, I'll just give you the quick plot. She goes to space, and then she returns to Earth, and she's kind of fucked by her experience in space. Like, she thinks, everything down back on Earth is really trivial, and after seeing the massive expanse of the universe, she's really sort of having a hard time dealing with being a woman, being in the 60s, and coming back down to Earth. John Hamm is in it, which kind of gives me a little bit of a feeling that it might be redeemable. Yeah. But it just, from the trailer, it looks like another Tree of Life film where it's just trying to be cool, but it's really confusing.
Oh, I see.
And, after Annihilation, I thought Natalie Portman couldn't do worse. And then...
I loved Annihilation. What are you talking about? I loved it.
I hated it. I fell asleep. It was terrible.
Oh, no. It was such a cool concept. It was one of, because I'm not a huge sci-fi fan, but that, I was like, shit.
Wow. I was actually going to do it for the podcast because it was terrible.
No. I've watched it twice. Wow. I loved it both times. That bear thing that screams. Yeah. And that is one of the scariest scenes. It's so good.
Wow, we had very different readings of that film. Good lord. Okay, fair enough.
Any film that's about, 5 badass female
that's
scientists,
your vibe.
I'm gonna get behind it.
Yeah, that's a good point. So yeah, I feel Lucy in the Sky is gonna be terrible, but there were some really good trailers that were released this week, so, go check out them. They're amazing. And, yeah. I think we've got a good season ahead of us. Now that the Oscars are done and all the bullshit's out the way, we can really focus on what's important.
Yeah.
So there you have it, Simone.
There we go.
Yet again. How exciting.
We've done it.
It's
yes.
It's a beautiful new day. And like phoenixes, we rise from the ashes.
Yes, we do. What are you doing next week?
You're gonna hate it. I promise you that now.
Oh, boy.
I'm gonna do 1,000 Words, the Eddie Murphy film where he only has 1,000 words to say. It's terrible. It's a really shitty film. But we're gonna talk about it, and it's gonna be amazing.
Okay, I've never heard of it in my life.
Oh, it's bad. It got a Metascore of 16.
Yikes. Well, yeah. I'm not doing much better. I keep forgetting that this movie exists, and I've remembered this week.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna do 2015's Fantastic Four.
No!
I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it either. I didn't want to watch it.
I'm so sorry, Chad. You know what you signed up for with this podcast.
God damn. Fuck's sake. Okay. That's fair. I mean, we can't discriminate. That's not what we're about here.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Okay, fair enough.
It's going to be a tough episode.
It's going to be a really tough episode, you guys. But good luck. If we have to watch them, you don't. But, it will sort of colour our commentary if you do watch them.
Yes.
So there you have it. So how was your week, Simone? You had a wonderful time away. Tell us all about that.
Yes, I just arrived back from a weekend away by the ocean. I live in Cape Town, so that's also next to the ocean, but
yeah, 6 of 1.
It's different. I was living next to the ocean for the weekend, and it was charming. I went antiquing.
Ah.
I built a puzzle. It was a vacation. All of us are a bunch of introverts. So we were all there, and one person would be like, I want to do this, I'm going to go do it. And everybody would be like, cool. Or we'd do stuff together. Or some people would do stuff together, and another person would be like, you know what, I'm just going to do me.
Ah.
And it was so nice.
That's so lovely.
And we just ate a bunch of good food, drank a bunch of good wine.
Wow. That sounds truly magical.
Yeah, it was charming.
Oh, what a good weekend. And do you feel rested? Do you feel back to normal?
Honestly, I could have used another week of it. Because I still just have constant anxiety in my chest. But I've downloaded a meditation app now, so hopefully...
Oh, good.
Hopefully.
That'll help you.
I just want to sleep the night through.
Oh, that's not good if you're not sleeping the night through.
It's fine.
Sleep is important.
I am acutely aware.
Yeah. I mean, but okay. Well, at least you had a good weekend.
Yes.
That's what's important.
Yes, and how was your weekend? You said you had a lovely weekend.
I had a truly delightful weekend. I went back to my roots. There's a whole bunch of Facebook groups for expatriates living in the UK, South African expatriates living in the UK. So we went to a pub with a whole bunch of South Africans who we didn't know, and we met up with them. Which, to be fair, sounds like my absolute fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
Going to somewhere with people I don't know at all.
Yeah.
And meeting them. And it was just really lovely. There were some really lovely South Africans there. It was nice to talk about sort of the differences between South Africa and England and how everyone here is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And I got a bit gin drunk,
Ooh,
which is always the fun drunk to be.
An emotional drunk.
Yeah, it was good fun. And so it was a lovely weekend.
Oh.
And yeah, I'm pleased with the weekend, how it went.
I'm so glad.
So yeah. I'm also, I don't know if I told you this, but I'm learning Japanese now, very slowly.
Yeah.
Because it's Japanese.
Yeah.
But I feel our friend Gray, who's a friend of the podcast.
Yes.
He's thinking of making me one of the godfathers of one of his future children.
Oh.
And him and his girlfriend speak Japanese. So I thought, proper godfather duties, I should learn to speak Japanese.
That's very considerate of you.
Yeah. Plus, Japanese is pretty cool.
Yeah, useful language to learn.
Exactly. So, it's been a good weekend, and I'm excited for this week ahead. Who knows what's going to happen?
Huh.
Yeah. So there you have it, everyone.
Yes.
That's the podcast.
That's us.
That's us. You're welcome, everyone. And so where can the people find you? Where can they find us? All that type of business.
So people can follow me on Instagram at simone.ellie.rux. They can find the podcast at It's Not That Bad 1 on Facebook and Twitter, and at It's Not That Bad Podcast on Instagram, and they can email us at itsnotthatbadpodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah, and email us with your favorite writers, guys. We're gonna pair them with wines and beers and other alcohol and narcotics. It would seem.
Yes.
So do that, you guys. I made the decision the other day that I texted Simone with, that if and when we hit 1 million listens, not 1 million followers, but 1 million listens, I will get the words grace and nature tattooed on my body.
No, absolutely not.
In reference to Tree of Life. It's gonna happen. 1 million views, 1 million listens, and I'm gonna have it's gonna be done. It'll be great. I'll get them tattooed on each forearm.
Oh, absolutely not.
And it'll be fantastic. Just grace, nature, boom.
I just want everybody to know I do not back this, and I do not expect Chad to follow through with this ridiculous idea.
I do. My body is my canvas, and my tattoos are my art, as I said.
They're not even your art.
There's some crazy Frenchman's art.
Yeah.
But that is what's happening. So, tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell everyone so that we can get to 1 million listens so I can get some really dumb tattoos.
Jesus.
It's very exciting for everyone. And you can find me also on Instagram and Twitter at chatsby1993. You can also find us on Forge and Flint for interesting articles, short stories, and poetry. And as we say at the end of every episode,
we love you, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Bye!